what we can do, but I can speak on what I do know. What I do know about that is my brother had knots in the back of his head, a gazillion knots at that. Not just one knot, not just two. He had a gazillion knots in the back of his head. My thing is this: as a black man, and I'm quite sure other black people would agree with me. We just don't swell. We just don't swell automatically. You know what I mean? We swell over a period of time. And after the fight, when you see like a whole bunch of knots that look like this in the back of your neck, in the back of your neck, the back of your head, all up in the back of the head right here. Where did that come from? Because if it was just pads on the back of your head, you'll feel it, but you won't have knots. Where do the knots come from? You know what I mean? It's different knots. The knots are like this. Like this. Little knots, small knots, all up and down his back and spine. But if you go back and look at the fight, what was Tyson Fury hitting him at? On his back and his spine. His back, his spine, the back of his head. Okay, so when you see that, it makes you think like, damn, I got small fucking knots in the back of my head. Not just gigantic knots. We got small, we got big, we got everything in the back of his head. You know what I mean? Back his neck, back his spine. I've never seen that before in a fight. Never.
I never seen a fighter put a dent on a fighter head. I mean, it's just physically impossible. According to doctors, you will break your knuckles before breaking or denting someone's skull, right? So just the fact that Deontay Wilder got his skull dent is just show you that Tyson Fury had to tamper with his gloves. And we have to worry about if Tyson Fury actually had an object in the glove, beside the fact that he tampered with the glove and removed glove padding from the knuckle area.
Right.
So you're not just going to dent somebody's head, especially if you're a pillow-fisted fighter. Deontay Wilder is arguably the hardest hitter of all time. I never heard of Deontay Wilder denting nobody's head. Mike Tyson never dent nobody's head. I mean, we could go down the line in history, even fighters in the past, when they used to wear gloves with less padding. I never heard a story of somebody, get his head dent. So Tyson Fury clearly had to tamper with his glove, and we have to worry about him placing an object in his glove beside the fact that he already tampered with his glove.
Right. Exactly. That's my point. Exactly. I wish that I can, but I'm not going to do that on air. But how can I say this? Everybody has that bone. Everybody has that bone. And if I was to rub like I did him, I rubbed my hand across it. So I truthfully know that it's there. You know what I mean? I touched it myself. I know that it's there. But if I was to do that on somebody else's face or even my face and it's not there, I know what I see. People know what they see. Your eyes not lying. The only people who's lying is these old media people. That's the only people that's lying.
That's the only people that's lying.
All they want. But it's okay. But it's okay, because justice will be served, and everybody else who's included in that has to pay. And it will be coming soon. I promise you.
So Deontay Wilder will come out and drop that bomb squad. We can all anticipate that.
It's going to be more than that. It's going to be more than that. People got to pay. You know what I mean? People got to pay. And that's just the way it is. And people clown my brother Marcellus for what he said. But it's true, My dad even told me the same thing. Once you got a wounded dog and you don't kill him, you should have. Because when you don't, he's going to come back and kill you.
Facts. Wilder will come back for blood. Now, let me inform you on something you already informed on, which is the WBC. They came out desperately defending Fury for cheating. They were defending him blind pretty much, stating that they were there the whole time in both dressing rooms. Just like they defended Margarito blind when he cheated versus Cotto. They claimed Margarito was innocent when he was guilty for loading up his gloves, right? Now, obviously, the WBC claimed that Deontay Wilder team is irresponsible and is stupid for claiming that Fury basically had an object in his gloves when that's what the doctor said. You know, it ain't even like, what is you talking about? That's what the doctor said. So you mad because they stated facts? They just reported what the doctor said.
Right.
However, you questioning science, you questioning the doctors instead of doing your job by investigating the situation. So what you got to say to that?
I mean, they in on it too. You know what I mean? They
I
in on
mean,
it too.
Tyson Fury is not sponsored for no reason by the WBC. I mean, help me comprehend this.
Uh,
If Deontay Wilder is the longest reigning WBC champion, he's not sponsored by the WBC. The challenger, Fury, is sponsored by the WBC on his trunks, and he's also wearing the gloves that the WBC are partners with. Now, what sense does that make?
you know what's
That's a
crazy?
conflict of
What's
interest.
crazy? But what the crazy thing about that is, those gloves are the gloves that's real that's illegal. I forget the name of the MX. Those are the MX version of Paffin Sports. Those gloves are
Wow.
illegal. You know what I mean? So if the WBC signed off on that, because I think it's the Everlast MX gloves that are illegal now. So if they signed off on those, that's just as wrong as well, because those is nothing but a different brand, but those are still MX gloves.
Right. And I'm glad you
Yeah.
confirmed that because I actually researched them gloves and I couldn't find the gloves that Tyson Fury were that actually show that they are approved for him to fight with. Like I said, the WBC, for them to desperately defend Tyson Fury, a man that known for cheating in the past. We're not talking about the most innocent person in the world. The man took steroids, blamed it on a wild boar that's contaminated, that happened to be extinguished. He bribed the man to lie in court. And then when the man that lied in court, Carefoot, came out exposing him in the process, claiming that Tyson Fury paid him to lie in court, he threatened that same man to not cooperate with UKADA. And Carefoot came out claiming that his safety was threatened. He had nothing but problems from the beginning of this, and he's no longer going to cooperate. And believe it or not, old media twist the narratives of Tyson Fury being cleared of any allegations when they clearly threatened this man so they could shut him up. But we already know who Tyson Fury associate himself with, a mob boss. And they did not question Tyson Fury for doing so.
Right. I definitely heard about it. I definitely seen the whole thing, but it's crazy now because you have to ask yourself now, where's Martin Carefoot now? So that only lets me know that, they probably took care of him now. You know what I mean? They probably took care of him, make sure he's good, things of that nature, because he opened his big ass mouth again. You know what I mean? I'll do the same thing if I knew I was in front of heat of trouble. You know what I mean? But
Right.
like I said before, man, justice will be served, man. You know what I mean? And I just wish people stop with the fake news and things of that nature, man. Because at this point, Champ downstairs right now. Um, at this point, man, it's sickening because they're doing every single thing they can to get this man to talk. What's crazy about it is he was actually getting ready to come out and talk. We was this close to actually getting him to talk. Then somebody opened their big ass mouth. You know what I mean? And then
Yes, sir.
now it's like, you know what? I know what to do. So he's handling the situation how he wanted to handle the situation, and everybody just gotta wait. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. I mean, he in a tough situation because he damn if he do, damn if he don't. Because they see the evidence right in front of their face, but they don't want to believe the truth. They want to lie to themselves so they could please their ego. Like I said, the double standards is outstanding in the sport of boxing. You have Sugar Shane Mosley. When he tested positive for steroids in 2003 or around the time, he had like a documentary on HBO and an interview where they asked him, "Oh, why did you take steroids? Well, was you aware?" And then when Tyson Fury did the same thing, they don't do the same thing to Tyson Fury. They switched the story to him coming off depression, blah, blah, blah. He could threaten a 70-year-old man, and it's A-OK. So we could clearly see the double standards in the sport of boxing. I mean, the fighters on the coincidental list, they have to do that much more. They have to be twice as good, and they still get screwed over.
Right. But think about D. Like I said, D run his operation how he wants to run his operation. You know, and he runs it completely different now how everybody else might operate.
And what's crazy about that is the way he's operating, he's actually doing that right. You know what I mean? And they can criticize and say he's doing things this way. That's because he's his own boss. He do what he wants to do when he wants to do it, how he wants to do it. You know what I mean? And they mad at that. You know what I mean? And it's fun now. Like I said before, it's getting to a point where it's starting to be funny. You know what I mean? It's like, damn, here go this news, here go that news. Like we just actually right before I got on the phone with you, I showed him what the Frank Warren TV thing had said. You know what I mean? It was just like, damn. Um, Called Shelly. Shelly asked if he talked to Frank Warren. Yeah, he talked to him. What did they talk about? He told him specifically what did they talked about. And it's definitely had nothing to do about pulling out no fight. D is not pulling out this fight, man. That's what I'm trying to tell these people. It's crazy. D is not pulling out this fight.
That's what they're preying on.
You know what I'm saying? They just gonna keep saying fake news, man. And that's exactly what they do. You know what I mean? They get together and they chime out a whole bunch of shit. What up, World Combat Sports? That's my guy right there. But
shout out to World Combat Sports.
Man, they just gonna keep saying bull. They just gonna keep saying bullshit. But at the end of the day, D don't have to speak. I'll speak for him. I know what's true and what's not true. It's not true. They just gonna keep doing it until they get something. And like I said before, now a lot of people gonna have to start coming through me to get interviews, to do anything, to talk to them, to get interviews. They gonna have to come through me. I got a list. I got a book. I can show you right now. I got a list of a book. Who's not gonna talk? Who's gonna get a chance to interview? I got a list. I got all that stuff on record. You know what I mean? Yes. So I know who said what, when they said it, the date, the time, all that. So it's over with. Lance Pugmire, he's number one on my list. He's not go. He can kiss my ass. It's over with.
Old media is desperate. See, that's the thing about fighters on the coincidental list. Like Deontay Wilder, for example, right? He came into the sport at an old age. Like he started boxing, I believe, 21. In a couple years, he medaled in the Olympics. People don't want to talk about his skill set. They want to say he can't box, this and that. However, he went to the Olympics and he medaled with like a year or two experience, right? Came to the pros. He got it out of the mud. He had a daughter on his shoulder that he had to take care of her, right? So It's like it's equivalence of a race. The fighters on the coincidental list, they all the way in the back of the line. The fighters on the hope list, they are in front of the line. So they get a head start in the race. And these fighters on the coincidental list still catch up because they run faster than them. And they almost at the finish line. Deontay Wilder had 10 title defenses. He tied Muhammad Ali record and all that. And what they do, they put traps on the way for these fighters on the coincidental list to actually fall in the trap so they can't reach the finish line before these fighters on the hope list. I mean, have you ever heard of this guy named Wendell Scott?
No, I haven't heard of him. What about
Let me inform you on this. This person named Wendell Scott is a great documentary. He was a NASCAR racer. He was on the coincidental list. He happened to be black, right? So this guy, he actually used old equipment, not brand new equipment in a race because he had to resort to other things because he couldn't afford it, et cetera, right? So he was in a NASCAR race. He got the first place. But in a NASCAR race, when you get into the first place, they're supposed to wave the flag, right? Yeah. And they did not do that. So he was shocked when he reached the finish line. He was like, man, everybody using new equipment. I'm using old equipment, and I still got the first place, and I won, and they did not wave the flag. And they waved the flag in the second place. This happened around the 1960s, 1970s. So I'm just trying to point out the double standards. People. Now, I ain't going to say just fighters. People in general on the coincidental has been facing, from the Jack Johnson days to this day. So my point is they did the same thing to Deontay Wilder. He was almost at the finish line. He was making history. He was breaking history. And just like they did Wendell Scott, where he got the first place. However, they did not wave the flag to the second guy that actually won the race. They waved the flag on him and awarded him the winner. It's mind-boggling.
Mm-hmm. For sure. That's a dope story too. I'm gonna have to look it up and research because I've definitely been looking for some of the research since I've been here.
Suppose there's a blemish on his legacy because at the end of the day, you cannot be on the realm of greatness when you cheat. You can't be next to Muhammad Ali, next to Joe Frazier, next to all of the all-time greats when you're a known cheater, when you had to resort to cheating on more than one occasion. You had to take steroids, and that's a fact. That's not a rumor, none of that. That's a fact. He tampered with his gloves. That's a fact, according to our eyes. Old media don't want to acknowledge it. They want to claim new media is blowing smoke when it's a freaking wildfire in the damn jungle. You know, right. They want to claim that our eyes is Photoshop. They paid the photographer to take the photos down from his website.
You want to know what's crazy about those photos?
Yeah.
I was actually one of the ones who got the photos.
I mean, you're going to have to send some toward me, man, because they took them down before I could get most of them down.
Yeah, I actually got the photos. That's the crazy part about it. See, while they was too busy worried about him talking, I was collecting all my evidence. I got everything I need.
Right.
You know what I mean? I got everything I need. That's why the WBC trying to get in touch with us now. You can't damage control over here. That's not gonna happen. They're just trying to damage control. There's no reason to talk to fat ass Suleiman. There's no reason. It's nothing to talk about. It's nothing to talk about.
I mean, when the man threw his integrity out of the window, the man has no honor, no integrity, so on and so forth, because he condoned cheaters on more than one occasions. It ain't just Tyson Fury.
Yeah.
History repeat itself.
Right.
He claimed that Margarito was innocent when he cheated Cotto. Mm-hmm. When Margarito clearly loaded up his gloves against Cotto. And he claimed Margarito was innocent. When Canelo Alvarez failed for steroids, he claimed Canelo Alvarez was cleared. When Jimenez failed 2 drug tests, he claimed she was innocent. And he claimed that we proud of her as a champion. I mean, that Hope Insurance is better than Geico. I'm telling you. Because subscribe below if you're trying to get smarter by the minute. If you're trying to get dumber by the second, don't listen to these decaps, the dumb casual ass fans that don't know shit about boxing. Word to Roger Mayweather, may he rest in peace, inshallah. Shout out to my own broski, my own AKHi Dante, for being the entrepreneur of new media that I'm a part of. And if you're a casual fan, you want to be a hardcore, all you have to do is click on the notification bell to get notified every time I'll post or go live on Split Decision. It's a boxing debate / talk show, mixed, master engineered, produced by yours truly, AKHi. You already know what time it is with AKHi, the past, present, and future undisputed. Pound for pound when it comes to debating. I got these decals shook. They're scared to look every time AKHi is on TV. Speaking the truth on the mic is always bad news for the decals, but they're allergic to it. However, when they hear the truth, when they're debating AKHi, they claim they don't speak any English. Every time I'm slapping them with the truth left and right. People lie, women lie, numbers don't lie, and you have it on footage. All my AKHis are my witnesses. Man, I wish a decaf will call in. Like I said, I can't pay a decaf to call in. Anybody can get it. Call me the can, man. It don't matter who you is. A decaf, old media, the decaf wizard themselves, it don't matter. You could get it. For the people that don't know shit about boxing, call in.
You better not duck me, son.
Quit ducking the smoke. Like I said before, time and time again, the truth will eventually come out. 3 things that can never ever be hitting: the sun, the moon, and the truth that I spent on the mic daily. There's 2 sides to every story. That's why it's called Split Decision. It could be your take, it could be my take. But the truth takes separate. When the truth is spoken, the other side is nothing but a lie. And what's done in the dark, it will eventually come to light. So with that being stated, all the decavs that keep acting like they got female parts, call in. Quit ducking. Collect the Dragon Balls and wish the dragon to grant y'all the cojones in order to debate AKHi. Because if I had a lower IQ, I could have enjoyed y'all pathetic debates. I'd deadass be losing brain cells debating with these decafs. Hopefully, I donate some of my brain cells to the decafs, because I done broke it down to where a 2nd grader knows the corruption that exists in the sport of boxing. So if you still trying to act like Stevie Wonder, if you still trying to act like you don't see the truth, if you still trying to act like you deaf, like you don't speak any English, when you hear the truth, that's on you, because I know you know the truth deep inside because you got eyes like I do. People lie, women lie, your eyes don't lie. Shout out to Tay Jones, shout out to Deontay Wilder, and you already know we speaking the truth to this day.
Hold it, you're not that pretty. I'm a bad man. Wait. I shook up the world. I shook up the world. I shook up the world.
I bear witness, there's only one God, Allah, and Muhammad is his final messenger. That's what I said, Larry, on the Bungle fight. Thanking you.
They call me the problem, but you could call me the can man, because anybody can get it. Africans, Americans, Dominicans, Mexicans, anybody can get it.